I just realized I'm shirtless again. I'm shirtless every single video. Quite frankly, I don't care to put on a shirt. This isn't like a good video or a bad video because I broke even today, but today should have been my absolute biggest day in the markets. And this is going to be a little lesson on prematurely moving your stop losses to break even. I think this is, at this point in time, my only limiting factor in trading. My strategy is sound, but I realized that I lack confidence in my edge and I consistently move my stop losses to break even. So it's something that I've now mentally noted because it stopped me from having a $5,000 day. And let's just kind of talk about what happened. Going into today, I was incredibly bullish just because of all the really great news that we had over the weekend. I'm not going to do a news recap, but essentially tariff news came out. Missouri became the first state to abolish capital gains tax on stocks and crypto. So this made me feel really, really bullish coming into the day. Although we had this really, really big weekly opening gap. I mean, this is a huge weekly opening gap. But transparently, I just don't see the market dumping today, at least towards this opening gap. And coming into the market, we had really, really big displacement moves to the upside. And I actually wasn't planning on trading today because I was waiting for my payout to hit. But I was looking at the charts because, you know, I love trading. And I saw a couple good setups, mainly one before I took my actual setup of the day. I did imagine that maybe we'd retrace into this higher time frame imbalance. And I saw this trade play out live. We made a really big SMT ski on market open. As you can see, we dump off, and then we create these highs before 9 a.m. Then the macro opens, we manipulate down, and then we rally up, manipulate again, and then we dump down. And if you look, we create this SMT. If you look on NASDAQ and EQ, you can see that NASDAQ, or am I tripping? Was there no... oh, this is so frustrating. Why can't I just go back to where I was? Or was it these highs? I think it was these highs. Let me double check. I think it was these highs. Let me double check. Okay, this is getting to be pretty freaking frustrating. Yes, okay. So ES comes and sweeps these market open highs, and NASDAQ fails to do so. And if you guys don't remember, this is a bearish SMT. So this is the first trade that I saw play out today. I wasn't able to get into it, but it was something that I noticed, and I was like, okay, that's great. And then my payout request got approved, and the funds were removed from my account. So I thought, okay, I can actually start maybe looking at an entry today. So I was looking at the consequent encroachment of this really big sell-off that we had on market open, and I knew this was going to be a really big draw on liquidity. And then as I was watching the charts around 10:30, we put in another SMT. We have these lows resting that I had marked out here, but I'm going to get rid of these for now. Again, we tap into this higher time frame imbalance, and then we immediately rally up. And we start to consolidate with this horizontal movement over. And again, if you also look at this range, we were in discount for this range, which goes without saying, we're at the bottom of this range. NASDAQ does not take out the 1030 lows or the 1020 lows, but if you look at ES does take out these lows. So given the rejection that we had off of this higher time frame imbalance that we retraced into the SMT, this was I think a 15-minute SMT. I'm kind of too lazy to look back at it, but it was an SMT nonetheless. Then we have this 1 minute fair value gap that holds. I ended up entering on this candle right here, and I put my lows where that horizontal line was, and I put my take profits at the top of this range, or excuse me, no, I put it in the middle of the consequent encroachment of this range right here. And this is my first time charting out a 10 RR. I think this is my first time charting out anything over a 5 RR. But again, just given the news that we had today, I was pretty confident that this trade was going to play out. And within 1 minute of me executing this trade, I moved my stops to break even. And we got stopped out. This was brutal to watch the charts run without me. I didn't end up re-entering because, again, you guys know me. I like to just take one trade per day. And I don't really get FOMO because the market isn't going anywhere. But this was a really, really great day, in my opinion. I loved the price action today. It looks a little bit choppy, but the SMTs that we were putting in, the lower time frame price action just looked really, really great. But again, that's the trade recap today of how I made $0 when I should have made... I risked on this trade $500, so I should have made $5,000 today. We didn't make $5,000 today. We actually made $0, but it's okay because we're going to be scaling our Top Step accounts, and the next videos that we're going to be making are going to be on how to scale to max allocation and max payouts. See you later, losers.